Hi WAC friends and family. Welcome to the Wisconsin Athletic Club's Move at Home series. I'm Jess Kieser from downtown, and I'll be leading you in a 35-minute yoga light practice. We will focus on standing postures, and we will progressively add new poses each time, but we won't go through the whole vinyasa chaturanga sequence. So it'll be gentle on the shoulders, a little bit more work for your balance and for your leg strength. What you'll need for this practice is, of course, your yoga mat, and I would recommend having blocks. And then at the end, we will work on some stretches, and you'll want your yoga strap or a towel or a dog leash, something that you can use to help you and assist you with those stretches. So to get started, we'll begin in standing in mountain pose. So we can work on mountain pose by either having your eyes open or closed, whatever feels good to you. And the first thing I want you to think about is your heels and your toes. See if you can feel your toes lifting up and setting back down, kind of keeping all of your toes facing forward. A lot of times the big toes like to go out towards the side. So I recommend just pick up all your toes and set them back down and see if you can keep every toe facing forward, and then press your heels gently down into your yoga mat. At the same time, as you press your heels down, lift the crown of your head up so you're elongating your spine. Gently tuck your chin so that you can push the back of your neck against a wall. Allow your shoulders to kind of come away from your ears, pull the shoulders down. And then think about relaxing your belly. Just take 3 breaths in through your nose. Relax your belly and exhale through your nose. Belly comes in. Inhale through the nose. Belly expands, and exhale through the nose. Belly draws in. Let's do one more. Inhale and exhale. Inhale your arms up overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center, Anjali Mudra. Inhale your arms up overhead. Exhale, hands down to heart center. One more time. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Let's reverse. Inhale, arms go up. Exhale, arms come back to center. Inhale. Exhale. One more time. Inhale and exhale. Bringing the arms up overhead. Bring one arm down. Exhale up and over. Big side body stretch here. This is one of my favorites. And then press down to lift yourself back up. Replace your opposite arm and exhale over. Let's do 2 more on each side. Inhale up. Exhale, side body stretch. Inhale up, change the arms. Exhale over. One more on each side. Inhale up. Exhale, bend. Inhale up. Last one. And exhale over. And inhale, both arms up and both arms down. Just taking a look at your feet for that base, that foundation again. See if you can lift all of your little toes. This is very challenging, so be gentle with yourself when you're practicing. So try to lift all your little toes. Keep your big toes pressed down. See if you can do about 5 or 10 of those little toe lifting. At first, you'll want to look down at your feet so you can see what you're doing. And then as you progress little by little, you take your gaze and look away from your feet so that you can control your feet without having to see them and work on your proprioception. All right, next I want you to try your best. Lift your big toes, but keep all your little toes down. And again, this is quite challenging, but improving your toe strength will help you with your balancing postures and all of your standing poses as well. Let's try 2 more times. Again, doing your best not to look once you've started to figure out what it feels like. But of course, you can look when you're first learning how to pick up those toes. and relax. Okay, next we're gonna go up onto the toes, just getting those calf muscles warmed up and ready to go for some of our warriors. So 10 times, exhale and lift, inhale down, exhale, lift, inhale down, and you can even add some motion with your arms. Arms go back as you lift up, arms forward and then back, like you're gonna jump. Let's do it 3 more. Exhale up, inhale down. Last one, and back down. So we'll add this into our diver's pose and our chair pose. So first we start out with our arms forward in chair. If this is a posture that bothers you, things to work on, press your knees forward and then sit your hips back, pushing the weight into your heels. See if you can feel your glutes working here. And then don't forget to tuck your ribs down so that you can feel your abdominals working as well. So we want to take the work out of the lower back by getting the work into the glutes and your core, and then little by little adding those arms. So perhaps you keep your hands at heart center, or you could have your hands behind you. Let's take 3 breaths in our chair pose, Utkatasana. 1 more breath, inhale and exhale. All right, so adding in those tippy toes, we're gonna take the arms into that chair pose, full chair pose. Exhale, lift up, inhale, sit back down. Kind of like you're about to jump, exhale up, inhale down, exhale, lift up, inhale down. 2 more times, exhale up, inhale down, or like you're cross-country skiing, and down. Moving from chair pose into a crescent lunge. So see if you can feel those glutes working. Slide your right leg back. You'll be on your tippy toes. That's why we warmed up our calves. See if you can still feel that left glute working. Arms go up overhead. You are welcome to have your hands at heart center, or again, if you wanted your arms down by your side, that works too. Let's take 3 breaths here. So inhale, exhale, inhale, and exhale. 1 more breath, just building up that strength. Moving our crescent lunge into a warrior 1. Go ahead and let your heel come down, toe turned out on that back leg. Press your heels strongly down and back. Push your front heel into the ground as well. Arms come up overhead for your warrior 1. Again, if you don't want to add the arms, you can hold at heart center, or arms could come behind you. Let's take 3 more breaths. Again, building strength in the legs. 1 more breath, inhale. Exhale, change. Slide your legs just a little further away so that your stance is a little bit wider. See if your heels can be in as much alignment as possible. You want your front leg facing forward. Your back leg is going to be turned so it is parallel to the back of your mat. Imagine rooting down through your heels and pushing your heels apart to turn on those glutes, and then reach your arms like someone's pulling you in 2 different directions. Do your best to center your midsection right in the middle. So sometimes we tend to lean forward or we lean back. Do your best to be right in the center, and then turn to look down your front arm and take 3 breaths. Warrior 2. Inhale, exhale, inhale, and exhale. 1 more breath, inhale, and exhale. Heel toe your back foot in. Use the strength in your front leg and glute to bring you back to where we started. 3 breaths in mountain pose, and then we will do the same on the other side. So nice inhales and exhales, just to reset your system. All right, let's find that chair pose. Here we go, guys. Arms are going up overhead. Sit your hips back, pressing into those heels, stomach tight, ribs tucked down. Let's take 2 more breaths here in our chair pose, building up that strength in our legs. And then let's find that crescent lunge. So step your opposite foot back this time. You'll be up on your toes on that back leg, kind of like you're doing a calf raise or a heel raise, working on that calf muscle. So from here, front leg is bent. Strongly press your heels down into the mat. Push your toes away from your heel. See if you can imagine pushing your back foot away from your front foot. Arms would come up for a crescent lunge. Again, feel free to modify, taking your hands to heart center or arms behind, or you could even add cactus arms, whichever feels great to you. Let's get 2 more breaths here in our crescent lunge. And then change. Bringing your back heel down to the ground, turning your back toes slightly out to the side, pushing your heels really strongly rooted down into the ground, and looking upward, pressing through those heels, strong through the core, strong through the glutes. Again, if the hand position doesn't feel great, feel free to change. You can still do a warrior 1 with any of these different arm positions. Let's take 2 more breaths. And change. Moving into warrior 2. So slide your back foot just a little bit more back so that your stance is lengthened. Split the arms and then look down your front hand. Again, trying to keep your midsection as centered as possible. Let's take 3 breaths. One more breath. Bring your back foot in, and then you can step forward to the top of your mat. Mountain pose. Feel free to grab some water, and then we'll move on to our second set. This time we'll add just a couple more postures. So we'll start out the same in our chair pose Utkatasana. So go ahead and bend your knees, sit your hips back. Again, any different position with your arms that feels great to you, please use that. So you could have your arms out at heart center or down by your side. Let's get 1 more breath in chair. We're going to step back into crescent lunge again. So let's take 3 breaths here in crescent lunge. Moving into warrior 1. Back heel roots down. That back leg is now straight. Pushing your hips forward. Trying to get a stretch through the hip flexor and calf muscle. 3 breaths here. And then pyramid pose. Straightening both of your legs. Hands can go at your waist as you reach your upper body forward. And try to stretch the back of your leg. This is where the blocks can come in handy. So if you do have blocks, you may use these to help you in your pyramid pose, to take just a little bit of work out of your legs and allow yourself to have a little bit more support, so you can use your hands to help you push your hips more back, so that you can really root down through your heels and get that nice hamstring stretch. And then to the best that you can, allow your head to come down slowly and gently, trying to maintain straightness in both your legs and your spine. Let's take 1 more breath. Inhale and exhale. You can set your blocks off to the side. And then again, let's find warrior 2 like we did in that first round. So nice long stance here, open your arms. Again, pushing your back heel away from your front heel. Turn to look down the front arm. 3 breaths, inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. 1 more breath, inhale and exhale. Change, get a nice big stretch through the side as you reach up and over. Try not to put too much weight on this back hand. You can use this hand to support you, but be gentle that you don't crank your spine. So reach up more than backward. Keep this leg really strong. Getting that nice big lengthening through the side body. One more breath, inhale. Exhale, change, extended side angles. So taking your opposite hand on the inside of your knee, reaching the arm up and over. Nice straight line through from your fingertips down to your foot. And then see if you can open through the rib cage. Again, try not to put too much weight on this hand. You want to imagine that, but you want to feel that your leg is doing the work. So let's get one more breath. And exhale, warrior two. Again, if you need to bring your back foot in, use your front leg and heel and glute to lift you back to the place that you started. Mountain pose, 3 breaths. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, exhale. One more breath, inhale and exhale. All right, let's get the other side done as well. So chair pose, Utkatasana, step back into crescent lunge. Again, you can have your hands at any of the positions already mentioned. Let's get one more breath here in that crescent lunge. And then change your back foot, presses down through the heel, toe turns out slightly, and then find warrior one, pressing your hips forward, rooting down through the heels, feeling a stretch in your calf and your hip flexor. One more breath here in warrior one. Exhale, change. Find that pyramid pose. Again, you can use those blocks if you'd like. So using the blocks helps you to push your hips more backward, to lengthen the back of your legs. Again, doing your best to keep your spine lengthened and long. Let's take 3 breaths here. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, exhale. One more breath. Inhale and exhale. Finding warrior two next, you can move the blocks out to the side. Step your foot back, lengthen the stance. Arms are going to split, pushing back into your back heel and down into your front heel, looking down your front arm. 3 breaths here. Trying to do your best to stay centered in your midsection. One more breath. Exhale, reverse warrior. Again, lengthening through the side body, staying strong through your front leg, and avoiding putting too much weight on the back arm. One more breath. And change, extended side angle. Again, keep the legs as they are, just change the arms, reaching up and over your head, pressing your arm into the knee gently, and really rooting down through your back heel. That's your anchor. One more breath. Inhale. Exhale, warrior two. Again, you can step your back foot in and step forward. And mountain pose. We've got one more series here in standing, progressively adding more and more postures. And then after that, we will make our way down to the mat. So great job, you guys. Keep up the good work. So we're going to start the same, continue, add a couple of postures at the end. Here we go. Here is chair pose, Utkatasana. Finding that nice sitting back motion, keeping the weight in your heels, strong again through the glutes and through the core. Really feeling your heels pressing down strongly and your hips sitting back. Taking one leg back into your crescent lunge, fold here, 3 breaths. Again, your arms you can adjust as you like. One more breath. Change your back foot, find warrior one. Front leg is still bent, back leg is pushing that heel down, leg is straight, hips press forward, squeezing the glutes, stomach still engaged. One more breath. And pyramid pose, go ahead and reach for those blocks if you have them. Push the hips back. Allow the head and neck to relax. 2 more breaths. Lifting up into warrior 2. So lengthening your stance, arms splitting, looking down the front arm. 1 more breath. And then change. Let's find reverse warrior next. Stay here for 3 breaths. Change. Find that extended side angle. Really big side body stretch. Reach, 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 but root down at the same time, opening through the chest and rib cage. 1 more breath. And change. Warrior 2. Straighten your front leg, and we're gonna find reverse triangle. Go ahead and take your arm up and back. Both legs are straight, still feeling the stretch in the side body. In through your lats, maybe your armpits working. Root down through those heels. 1 more breath. And change. You might again want to use the block for this. Moving into that triangle posture. So arms and legs are straight. Reaching your hand down towards the inside of your knee. Maybe just gently resting your hand on the block to help you create lift as you root down through your heels, lifting up strong and tall. Let's get 2 more breaths here. Inhale through the nose. Exhale. 1 more breath. Inhale. And exhale. Bringing yourself back up. You can move the block out of the way. And our last posture in standing is warrior 3. So moving from your warrior 2 into a crescent lunge. So your stance will be shorter this time. Your back leg is still bent. We're going to float into warrior 3. So that warrior 3 might look like this, with your toes still touching the ground, your arms behind you. This would be our level 1, or maybe you try to lift that back leg. You could bring your arms out to the side, or for that full challenge, bringing your arms in front, creating a human letter T. 1 more breath. Great work, yogis. And bring yourself back to mountain pose. And take a little breath, little breather. 3 breaths, and we'll do the same on the opposite side. Again, if you'd like to grab water, feel free to grab water. Moving on into chair pose. Again, sitting your hips back. Stepping back into crescent lunge. Back heel is lifted, toe is pressing strongly down. Change, finding warrior 1, pressing your back heel down to the ground, pressing your hips forward, stomach still engaged, rooted down through the heels. Pyramid is our next posture. So you can reach for those blocks. Again, use the blocks to help you to push your hips more back, lengthening your hamstrings, lengthening the spine, and allowing your head to gently drop down. Take 3 breaths. Again, blocks are optional. You could reach for the floor as well. And then change. Again, you can move those blocks out to the side, opening into warrior 2. Splitting your arms. Heels are in one line. Arms are reaching in opposite directions. 1 more breath in warrior 2. And reverse. Bringing your arm up and back. Again, light on your back hand. Strongly still pressing through that front heel. And change. Moving into extended side angle. Opposite arm reaching up. Anchoring through your back foot. Pressing down through that heel. Gripping with your arch. Light on your inner arm. 1 more breath. And change. Warrior 2. Go ahead and straighten both of your legs. Reverse triangle, reaching up and back. One more breath. Inhale and exhale. And moving into triangle. Again, block is optional. Arm reaches up towards the ceiling. Rooting down through your heels. One more breath. Inhale and exhale. Moving your block out of the way and coming back into crescent, so shortening your stance. Crescent lunge, arms are going up overhead. And again, moving into our warrior three. So warrior three could be just your toe continuing to touch the ground and work on that single leg progression. Or maybe you stand single leg and pressing your heels back, arms behind you. You could also try with your arms out to the side, or maybe lastly, arms in front. Hold here for 2 more breaths. And bring your legs and arms back in. Mountain pose, awesome job. Go ahead and just acknowledge your practice. Maybe give yourself a small bow and honor your good hard work. And from here, we will do one vinyasa and make our way to the mat. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale for halfway lift. Exhale, hands to your mat. Step your feet back. Find your plank. Exhale, lower down. Inhale for your back bend of choice. Cobra or upward facing dog. And exhale back into child's pose. Take 3 breaths in child's pose. And then you can grab for your yoga strap. So we'll go onto our backs for 4-way belt strap stretching. These out of the way. If you don't have a strap, again, you can do all of these and just hold your leg instead of the strap. So we'll go onto your back. One leg goes up towards the ceiling, and the opposite leg can go straight out or stay bent, your choice. Stay here for 3 breaths, flexing the toes down towards your nose, kicking your heel up towards the ceiling, doing your best to get the knees straight, but acknowledging that it might not be straight yet, and that's okay. Take a nice inhale and exhale. And then go ahead and let your leg come out to the side, feeling the inner thigh stretching. Hold on to the strap. You can even root down through your opposite shoulder, reaching your arm out to the side. Then change, taking your leg across the body, changing your arms with the strap, feeling the stretch move from the inner thigh to the outer hip in the IT band area. Again, your opposite arm could be a nice counterweight balance. And then the last exercise is a quad stretch. So rolling onto your stomach, roll all the way over and bend your knee. Keep your knees together to the best of your ability and keep them centered on the mat. Allow your heel to move towards your rear. If it doesn't touch, that's okay. Just do your best, and someday it should go in that general direction. Keep your glutes squeezed and keep your rib cage and your abdominals tucked so that you don't feel your lower back and you feel the stretch in the front of your thigh. Feel free to let your head rest down on your forearm and take 3 breaths, feeling the quadriceps stretching. And change. So let's roll onto our backs and switch the strap. We'll do the same on the opposite leg. So other leg is kicking up towards the ceiling. or the sky, wherever you are. Again, if you'd like, you can modify with a bent leg, or you may progress yourself with a straight leg. Try to flex your toes towards your nose, kick your heel up towards the ceiling, stretching your calf and your hamstring. Try to relax through the neck and shoulders. Focus on your exhales. And then moving on, allow your leg to just gently fall out to the side. Your opposite arm can be a counterbalance, feeling the stretch through the inner thigh. Do your best to keep your pelvis on the ground so that your hips don't roll off of your yoga mat. One more breath. And change. Bringing your leg across the body, changing your hands so that you still give yourself that nice counterbalance. Stretching, this time, the outer thigh, outer hip area, IT band area. One more breath. And we'll change. Continue rolling all the way onto your stomach. You'll bend your knee. Again, do your best to keep your knees together in the midline. Pull your heel towards your rear. Squeeze the glutes. Keep your abdominals tight. And if you'd like, you may let your head rest down for 3 breaths, stretching the front of your thigh, your quadriceps muscle. And then you can unwind. And you can set your strap off to the side. Roll back onto your back. Hug your knees into your chest. Bring one leg in and one leg out. And change. Bringing both knees in, allowing the knees to roll to one side. Open your arm up to the opposite side. Nice big stretch through the entire side body for a supine twist. And change, bringing your knees to the opposite side and reaching your arm out away from your knees, moving in the opposite direction. Supine twist for 3 breaths. And then bring everything back to center. Go ahead and grab your feet. Happy baby pose, keeping your head relaxed and on the ground. You may grab for your big toes. You can kick one leg out and then kick the other leg out, just playing as if you were a baby. Maybe you rock side to side. Anything that feels fun or playful to you, just something to stretch those legs a little bit more. And then when you are done with your stretch, you can extend your legs out long on your yoga mat for Shavasana, our final posture. Traditionally, this is taught on our backs, heels together, arms at our side, palms up, toes turned out. Find stillness in the body by relaxing the muscles in your forehead, allowing your jaw to become heavy, your tongue to relax away from the roof of your mouth. Find heaviness through the shoulders, softness in the arms. Let go of your fingertips. Feel the breath fill your belly and ribs with your inhales. Feel the ribs and belly lower with your exhales. Relax the thighs. Find heaviness in the kneecaps. Soften through the calves. Allow your toes to gently turn out to the side. Imagine there's a nice blanket over the top of you, and you can just focus on your breath, finding stillness, encouraging any thoughts that come along to just come back later. You can set them to the side, focus on the stillness. While you are enjoying your stillness, I will read to you from Meditations from the Mat. So you may stay in your Shavasana. This is Daily Reflections on the Path of Yoga by Rolf Gates and Katrina Kennison. Day 27. It is not because things are difficult that we do not dare. It is because we do not dare that they are difficult. For some of us, it is a long road back to our own truth, for we live in a culture in which truth is a rare commodity. Our work environments, home lives, and friendships are often permeated with falsehood. We distrust the slogans of the media, the promises of our leaders, the testimonials of politicians, the declarations of business people. Many of us come from families in which appearances are more important than reality. Still others have grown up inside an upside-down household in which children took care of parents or were expected to play prescribed roles in order to meet their parents' needs. Elaborate no-talk rules must be deconstructed. Old fears must be released. Habits of silence must be examined. Are we failing to speak the truth out of a desire to protect or care for others? How do we respond to information we know to be untrue? How do we get in touch with what was true and good within ourselves? The list of ways in which we have obscured the truth from ourselves and others is as endless as the suffering such obfuscation produces. Before we begin this work, it can feel overwhelming, but we are each possessed of an inner compass. When we stand still in the wilderness and take our bearings, we are able to apprehend the truth about ourselves and the world around us. And once we commence the practice of truth, we will never want to look back. We have only our own suffering to lose. As Plato said, truth is the beginning of every good thing, both in heaven and on earth, and he who would be blessed and happy should be from the first a partaker of truth, for then he can be trusted. Over time, you will have the pleasure of watching this beautiful practice blossom in your life in a way that is honest and authentic. As you learn to speak the truth, you will learn to be true to yourself and to all that is best in you. Go ahead and wiggle your fingers and wiggle your toes. Make some neck circles and stretch out on your mat. And then go ahead and curl up onto your side in the fetal position. And then you may join me in a seated position and we will close out our yoga practice. Together, let's lift the arms. Inhale, arms above our heads. Exhale, hands to heart center. It is always my honor to lead the yoga practice. Thank you all for joining me. The light within me shines to the light within each of you. Be kind to yourselves and be kind to others. Namaste. Make sure you tune in tomorrow. We have 8 a.m. Groove with Shannon and 12 o'clock Strength Light with Kaylee. Thank you all for joining. Hope you guys have a great day.